And I'm Jay.
Welcome to this week's episode of Arguably Correct.
Today we're going to talk a little bit about home remedies, I guess is probably the catch-all phrase to use for it.
Snake oil. That's what I call it, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm curious to get some feedback from people on this to see what people have used, what they say works, what doesn't.
Well, this came up at work the other day, and it's kind of why I brought up the subject. Somebody was talking about their mom used to take a Vicks Vapor Rub and would put it in a spoon and heat it up over the stove till it melted and would make her drink it. And I thought
she drank Vicks Vapor
swallow
Rub.
it.
So she cooked it like heroin and then made her daughter drink it.
Melted it, didn't get it really hot, but yeah. But you had to take it before it started to re-solidify again because it'll,
I don't think you're supposed to eat that stuff.
So that's what we started looking it up because I thought, holy crap, that sounds like child abuse or something. That sounds terrible. Yeah, poisoning. And we got on the Googles and looked it up, and no, it's perfectly safe. Yeah, perfectly safe to ingest. Mm-hmm.
Did it work?
She said, I mean, I don't know. It's anecdotal, right? But,
yeah.
And supposedly it acts as a cough suppressant. Cools the throat as it goes down. And
it's a cough suppressant because you fucking die.
Right. I thought, Vicks is one of those things that seems like it can cure everything, Well,
I mean, whenever I get a cold, I have a humidifier.
Yeah.
And I get the little Vicks tabs and you put it in there and you're sort of breathing that stuff in all night. It definitely helps, your congestion and all that. What would you looking for?
I just don't think it works.
No?
No. All it does is irritate the shit out of me. Especially when the parents would put it underneath your damn nose.
I still do that.
Well, yeah, you've been wiping your nose all day, so it's red, irritating. You're going to put this menthol shit on there. It's like putting Bengay on your Peter. That's just a bad idea. And it hurts, and I guess the thing...
Or hair removal cream.
Yeah. The thing you think about, it's, if your right arm hurts, have somebody punch you in your left arm, and then...
One of those deals.
That's the way I look at Vicks, is it just kind of redirects your mind somewhere else. I don't know about the eucalyptus shit if it really helps. I don't think it does.
I've always enjoyed it. I'll get a chest cold, you rub some on your chest.
Still use it as an adult.
Yeah, as an adult, yeah.
I mean, do you seal yourself up in the... Yeah, right? Do you... That blew me away.
I know.
And that's why we had to talk about this shit because I don't think anybody else. And as soon as we Googled it, it was a thing. It wasn't just a one-off.
I don't think Vicks counts as a home remedy. I mean, that's an over-the-counter.
It's over-the-counter, but people use it in ways that it's not necessarily, in my opinion, intended for. Drinking it or ingesting it. One, putting it on the bottom of your feet.
Why do they do that?
Because supposedly it draws toxins out and can help cure you
nope.
Of a cold or whatever, putting it on your feet. People swear by
that's got to be
absolutely bullshit. You take it, you put it on your feet, and you take like a pair of socks or two, and you put them on and to keep all the Vicks in there. And again, I think it's more of a redirection of a
mind over
a misdirection.
Thing.
Yeah, right. It's a mixed direction. That sensation, everything kind of takes your mind off of.
What do they call the pills you take that are the
placebos?
The placebo effect, where you're getting better because you think it's working.
Well, yeah, and take vinegar for instance. Vinegar, please. But
I was gonna just gloss over that, but nope, you called it out. All right.
I love that joke. It's a good joke.
It is a good joke.
Ryan Stout, look that one up. Anyway, so. Yeah, vinegar, it supposedly whitens your clothes, helps you lose weight, all this other bullshit. Yeah, like apple cider vinegar taking like 2 tips.
I have heard of that.
Yeah, taking it. And I sit here and try to find the science behind it. And my theory is if you are so dedicated that you're going to drink that nasty shit by itself, you're probably going to make better choices in your diet anyway, because I'm not doing this for nothing. Right?
Yeah.
So if I'm taking these nasty shots of apple cider vinegar, etc., you're probably going to think about what you're having for lunch because you don't want to continue to have to drink this nasty shit.
Well, I mean, apple cider vinegar is great when I use it for like ribs. Wow.
For ribs?
Sorry
that was an email. Let's see. Let's check it out.
Dear
arguably correct guys, you are stupid.
Turn down your sound on your other computer.
Right. Well, that's what we get. We're so professional. But, the vinegar thing kind of always struck me. Like, if it's such a great product, and why do we need Tide? Why do we need Dawn dishwash? Why do we need any other diet program? Right? Let's just all drink vinegar. And if that was the case, too, everybody who ate a fucking salad that had any kind of Italian dressing in it, well, you're getting about the same thing. It's vinegar,
You're
right?
cured.
Vinegar and oil. Yeah.
No more cancer.
It's kind of like, I think, with weed, too. Everybody, and again, I'm a proponent for legal marijuana, recreational
Same.
and medical, yada, yada, yada.
Yeah.
I'm actually a little bit further on that spectrum to most drugs, but neither here nor there. But the medical part, they say, it cures cancer, yada, yada, yada. If that was true, there'd be a lot less Americans in this country without cancer.
I don't think it cures it, but it definitely has some benefits that can help certain things.
Processed marijuana, taking out, getting into cannabinoids, certain ones, extracting those out in high doses, things like that.
It's
not
good for
just general purpose
just blazing
using
up and
because there's a lot of people who blaze. Plenty of them have can't. Just I don't know.
I think and there's the benefits that it helps with how you feel and your appetite and all that. But anyway. I don't want to count that in the home remedy one.
No.
I mean, do you think people use it as a home remedy necessarily?
I know people definitely use it for a sleep aid.
Okay, I do that.
But it's one of those cure-alls, and I think that's where I'm going. Here's this one thing that cures all these things. And that's where I start having a problem. Like Vicks. Okay, maybe it works if you put it on your chest, you breathe it in, fine. Should you be drinking it? Does it draw toxins out of yourself?
I don't think it draws toxins out.
Who knows? Does it also help you get a better date on Match.com because you rub it over your heart and all of a sudden your heart...
Maybe. If you check your horoscope, maybe that's what it'll say,
Very true, very true.
But, I mean, there's other ones, though, that are out there that when I started looking into this, like the silver.
Oh, yeah, you know what? There's some science behind the silver, though.
Yeah, that it's so heavy metal and you'll fucking die.
Okay, what are you talking about? Because I know maybe we're talking about different things.
They have you can spray it, you can drink it, but it's in purified water, and you basically are ingesting a heavy metal, and it's supposed to have all these great benefits for it. And then the one guy, Paul Carrison, I don't know if I'm saying his name right, he was taking it for a skin condition, like a dermatitis that he had.
That's a thing.
Papa Smurf guy, and he turned himself blue. He literally turned blue.
He was taking it internally. Right, he was actually eating it. He wasn't using it topically. Topically, yeah, he was ingesting it.
So,
but it wasn't he
just like the Vicks, though.
He didn't die, right?
Yeah, he's dead.
Well, did he die from?
Silver
poisoning?
He died of a massive heart attack.
But wasn't his thing too? Is he liked the pigment once it started, and that's kind of why he continued to do it?
I think he just rolled with it because it was happening, and I don't know what he thought about it necessarily.
Well, there's a certain.
But I'm not saying it killed him. I mean, he died at 62 of a heart attack, but I guess his widow had said, well, he had some other health problems. He's a heavy smoker. I mean, there were other things going into it, but I mean, I wouldn't think that taking a heavy metal is good for you, Well,
shit, our parents used to play with mercury all the time. They're fine, right?
We ended up just fine, huh?
Yeah, right. No, you're right. Silver, though, there is some research that does support that it works in certain ways, especially like viruses and colds.
I'm not buying it.
There's a skin condition called molluscum contagiosum.
What?
Molluscum contagiosum.
When you say that, you have to move your wand.
Yeah, right.
Harry Potter.
I make you have bumps. So you get these. It's a pox virus, right?
Okay.
And the silver has been shown to kill that virus. So you put it on in a cream topically.
Yeah.
Jeez, it's not a map.
Maps.
It's not a map.
Making.
Topically. So you put it on your skin. It has a silver. Oh shoot, what am I thinking of? Not the pure element form, an ion of silver.
Okay.
What am I thinking? What's the word
I don't know. This all sounds like bad science.
Anyway, well,
maybe it works a little bit. There's got to be something better to take.
It's something that it gets into the virus's DNA and it destroys it. They also have silver. There's a stainless steel. I can't remember soap bars. It's like a bar of soap.
Yeah.
But it neutralizes odors because
Okay.
And there is some science behind it. I know the bed I bought is because silver is a natural antimicrobial.
Okay.
So bacteria and stuff can't grow on it.
Mm-hmm.
Shouldn't grow on it. But so they had started. I'm sure it's a gimmick, right?
I'm sure.
But for two
I'm
things,
just listening to you. Actually, you're like, I don't know why they would do this with Vicks, but silver. Let me tell you all about my snake oil silver.
There's science behind it. There's studies, and your favorite thing, man.
It is my favorite.
It's
thing.
Your God. It's your religion. I went to your religion.
It is not a religion.
I went to your religion, and I'm telling you facts from your own book, man. I'm just reading your own book to you. I went to your science Bible.
I'll have to look into it.
But they integrated it.
Poking the bear today, man.
They integrated it into the weave of the bed, and it does two things. One, it supposedly prevents microbial buildup, and two, because of its conductivity, radiates heat quicker than fabric would.
Okay.
And I'll be honest with you, it's probably one of the cool, like temperature-wise, one of the most cool beds I've ever slept on. And I don't know if it's just the construction, the design, or if it has
Or maybe it's in
silver
your
in it.
fucking head.
But then that kind of brings you up to the copper and the magnets.
Those aren't remedies.
I'm with you. I can't see.
So you draw the line at copper. You're like, silver is good, but copper, that shit's
There's
made up.
no science behind it.
I'll have to look up the silver science. I honestly didn't look into it too much, other than the idea of someone taking a heavy metal to feel better just seemed dumb to me. So I didn't really go further than that. I probably should have.
Well, shit. Did you know Listerine used to be used as an abortion, a
Really?
what do you call it? Self-induced abortion.
I did not know that.
Kind of like the morning after pill, but internally.
Just Listerine.
And it was actually marketed that way.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we missed out on the good days where, like, you'd go to your doctor and you'd get that snake oil, but it had, like, cocaine and opium in it. And you'd be
Right.
like, here, take a drink of this. You'll feel great. And I bet you did. I mean, I would assume you would.
Why
feel
wouldn't
great.
you?
Yeah.
I mean, we do the same thing today. We just, they're synthesized, right? If you have ADHD, they basically give you crank. And essentially, that's exactly what it's
pretty much what it
methamphetamine.
is. Yeah.
You give them methamphetamine and it calms them
Here's
down.
a controlled dose of meth.
Pretty
Which
much.
seems weird that would calm you down.
You know, I took it, right? So I've taken,
Meth?
well, I haven't taken meth, no, but I've taken, methamphetamine
Yeah.
prescribed for ADHD before. Worked great. You know, for at least mentally it worked great for me, but my body, the HD component, I don't have that part of it. Like traditionally, so it actually sped up my heart. Yeah, it actually sped up my heart pretty bad. After about 3 or 4 months on it, I couldn't tolerate it anymore. It was like I was drinking. Well, clearly, it's methamphetamine.
I was gonna say it's methamphetamine,
yeah. But I had never been more clear thinking ever, and it was great. But I just couldn't handle the physical effects on my body.
Yeah.
So it was interesting that it actually worked for me. It just wasn't practical. From a side effect standpoint.
Well, there's other things though, like the home health things. I don't know if they're necessarily. I really think that if you're
like
sick,
putting a bar of soap underneath your sheets to cure what do you call it? Leg cramps in your calves.
What?
Totally. And people swear by it.
No.
Yes.
No, I'm saying no. Like that's can't.
Why? Right. And
It's
I
not
think
what
like
soap
Irish
does.
Spring is supposedly, or Irish Spring or Ivory is one of the best ones to use. People absolutely swear. And I suggested it one day at work, because the person I work with was complaining of leg cramps at night. And I said, I know this sounds really stupid. I don't buy it, but people say it works. And it's not going to hurt you.
Did they try it?
Yeah.
Did it work?
She doesn't have the leg cramps anymore.
Oh, come on. Come on.
I don't know if it's placebo. I have no
You
science
don't leg
behind
cramps.
it.
Fucking stretch. Do some yoga.
Drink
you know?
water. Eat a banana.
Yeah, there's other ways.
Yeah.
Bar
So
of soap under your.
what do you got?
I don't know. You keep wrecking me with these ones that are just fucking
Off the
sound
fucking wall.
stupid. Oh, if you stand on one foot and look at the moon just right, diabetes will be much better.
That's true.
So some of the I know there are things you can eat that are just good. The turmeric is good. It's an anti-inflammatory. I've the Epsom salts. People using peppermint for their stomach.
So the Epsom salt.
Yeah.
Do you know more about that?
Just that it's supposed to be an anti-inflammatory.
Yeah, and it's supposed to absorb through your skin, so you soak your feet in it or take a bath with it. But when your skin, being an organ, does absorb certain things, magnesium is what's in Epsom salts.
Really?
It's the magnesium that you're...
Did not know that. So we're back to the heavy metals.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, we have naturally occurring heavy metals, and all the food that we eat and things like that. We're going to pick it up.
It's some. It just seems like shooting silver down your throat out of a spray bottle is a bad idea to me.
It seems like it.
That's my take on it. I know somebody that shot it in their eyes.
Really?
Yes.
Or?
I don't fucking know, because it was supposed to help them feel better. But that little spray bottle, and she would squirt her eyes with it. She swore by it. Stuff worked. I'll tell you off air who it is. You know her too.
Okay.
And I was always like, what are you doing taking silver? Like, don't do that.
I'm just curious what the hell's wrong with your eyes that you would go to that length of.
She sprayed it, or if you had, I don't know if it was headaches. I don't know. I don't remember. But
so Epsom salts, you went through that one, which they found that there is a slight increase in the level of magnesium in your blood once you do these soaks, but you can obtain a hell of a lot more by taking a multivitamin.
Okay, so it's not like it's enough to crush you. Yeah,
I mean, that's the science behind it. Anyway.
I get in multivitamin. There are there's zinc and there's there are things in there
heavy metals
that are heavy metals, and I know that but I don't.
Your body does use that.
I don't think silver was ever one that. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't think it's naturally occurring. I don't think it's something that we need.
I mean, shit, we eat a lot of titanium dioxide.
I don't even know what that is, but I'm sure you eat a lot of it.
It's a color, right?
Is it coloring?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm sure I do that. I try to avoid that stuff. I try to eat better, but I don't always like. I mean, we're gonna be having some pizza wings here for the game later. So
Yeah, and where'd those tomatoes come from? They ain't growing around here this time.
no, I'm sure they're sent from somewhere.
You ever seen the size of those damn wings? I don't know what kind of Monsanto chicken those things come on, but
Monsanto chicken. That was really good. So this could probably be a separate episode on its own, but it just happened like as we're talking about this episode and get ready for it. So you go back to like home remedies. What about the stuff that starts like very young, being your vaccination? And right now in New York, there's like 200 some odd cases of measles that are out from people.
Is it New York? I thought it was Washington.
I think there's two. There's one in Washington. There's some in Hawaii because people had visited Washington and flew back. There's some in New York. And I know in New York it was it's centered around a very severe, I don't know how severe probably isn't a good word, a ultra Hasidic Jewish community, and they don't believe in vaccinations. Orthodox, thank you. Hey, come on, it's a hangover day. But yeah, and they don't believe in vaccinations, and now their kids have measles, and I'm like thinking to myself, why don't you just put some essential oils on it? You'll feel better. That'll fix you.
Peppermint
fix you right
oil.
up. Yeah.
Swallow some Vicks.
Yeah, you'll be fine.
You'll be good to go.
Eat a bar of silver. You're good. Yeah. You're good to go.
Rub it on your balls.
Send the kid on his send the kid on his way to school.
So what's your claim here that
vaccinate your kids?
Vaccinate your kids.
Yeah,
that is totally another episode. One of a stupid fact of that is they did a little research and that these people who don't vaccinate their kids and have animals choose to vaccinate their animals.
I should be surprised, but I'm just not.
Right. Yeah.
But essential oils, I think that's a big home remedy thing that gets taken way too serious. And I've actually used some that I think helped a little bit. I mean, I'm sure that they have some benefits, but again, I think people use them incorrectly. Like maybe you should go to a doctor and actually get seen as opposed to just, no, I'll just put some essential oil on it, and there's an essential oil for that, and you'll feel better.
Yeah. I listen to another podcast called Science Versus. I recommend them. They're pretty interesting. A couple young women, I believe they're from Australia. Nice accents. Those are always good. But they have some real good research out there, and one episode they did is on essential oils. And, the science behind it does conclude that there are two particular essential oils that are very effective. I think we've talked about this in another episode, but I'll repeat them again. But peppermint oil, but in order to be effective, it had to be taken basically a mega dose, and it had to be internalized, right, for upset stomach.
Yeah,
and it showed very clearly that it did have an effect. People felt better.
Okay.
So that, and scientifically in studies, they were able to repeat it.
Vodka.
Rosemary.
Vodka
And rosemary, yeah. Rosemary to increase intelligence.
Really?
Yeah, but in the study they did, it was barely more, I believe, than what you would say is the standard error rate. And it was very minuscule. Yeah, so but it did temporarily seem to have an effect on people's mental alertness, for recall and things like that. So, and if you think back to, have you ever seen any paintings of Rome and that time period? Rosemary is included in there because it was kind of used as a euphemism for intelligence and knowledge. Okay, the rosemary. Interesting. Yeah, it's a thing. I mean, I guess my main point to most of this is some of these things are great for like a comfort thing. For instance, if I think, when I get a cold and I use some Vicks and I run it through my humidifier, or I rub some on my chest to get, it's a thing to help alleviate some of my comfort. I think that if you have... Alleviate some of your comfort?
Or alleviate my comfort.
Alleviate some of your discomfort?
Alleviate some of my
sorry,
discomfort.
I just wanted to make sure I understood it.
No, thank you. That was bad. But I think that if I have this chest issue or a cold or something, you should probably go to a doctor to get some antibiotics, or I don't use these things as medicine, and I think that's where it becomes a problem, where you use it in lieu of going and seeking medical treatment from someone who actually knows what they're doing. They're going to give you medicine.
But that medicine's derived from where?
Well, science.
A lot of it. Well, yeah, but a lot of it's plant essential oils.
A lot of it, yeah, I
like
get
aspirin. Aspirin comes from the willow plant, from the willow tree.
But again, right. if you're okay, so aspirin comes from the willow tree, but if you just like take a willow tree, cut the branches down and roll around in it for a while, that's not near as effective as taking an aspirin.
But it is effective if you have the right one and you do chew on the back, because that's where they found it. It was some of the native people were using it. Like if you were sick or didn't feel good, they would take this tree. They didn't know why, and you would chew on the young branches and they would feel better. And so people started researching it and going through. I mean, there are absolutely botanicals out there that
absolutely.
You know, I mean, heroin, poppy seeds, opium, all that stuff.
Yep, I get all of that. I just think that, okay, what would you rather do if you're sick? Would you want to chew on a branch, or you just want to go to the doctor and get an actual prescribed dosage according to your weight and the issue that you're having and everything else? I feel like you're better off taking a pill prescribed by a doctor than taking.
So you subscribe to Western medicine over Eastern medicine or homeopathic stuff?
I think that there's effective parts in all of it.
I do too.
But I don't think you should, I don't endorse rubbing Vicks on your forehead to draw the demons out. And that's where I have a problem with people who go too far with it or only use, but I'm not going to a doctor. I'm just going to spray some silver up my nose and rub some Vicks in my. Never mind, I'm not going to say that word. and everything will be fine.
Right. Yeah, that's true.
So the other side of that, from a personal experience, years ago when my son was very young, we thought he had taken eaten a pill. I think it was
Viagra?
Advil. It's funny because it was actually my brother had spilled the bottle, so it was his medicine.
Gotcha.
But I believe it was like an Advil, or I don't remember what it was.
Yeah.
But we went through and counted. We were missing some pills, so we take him to the emergency room, and they gave him charcoal.
Mm-hmm. Activated
charcoal, and I mean lots of it. And let me tell you, coming out of a diaper, that was bad. Man. So he goes through all that hassle, and I ended up finding the pill that he never
ate it.
Never even ate it.
It's terrible.
But then I'm doing research on this a little bit, and I saw a couple articles, and I didn't delve too deep into them, but it was basically saying how that activated charcoal is also bad for you.
Well, I'm sure in mass quantity, if you do it more than you have to, it's either die from whatever you are and take the chance, right? Sure. So there is a side effect. Is it cumulative, or is it just like if you do it one time? I
didn't get too much into the research. No. I'll have to look into that more.
I wonder what was their general finding that it was bad in what way?
Like and I said I didn't go too far. Okay. But I found it funny that I'm like over here advocating, go to the doctor, and then I see that article pop up.
He went to the doctor, got this treatment, and that's bad for you too.
Then I see don't do this. I don't know if they still use that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this is 20 years ago, so I don't know if it's still a thing.
I mean, the reality is everything you put into your body or do something has an effect, some way, shape, or form.
That's why drugs.
Yeah. I mean, absolutely, drugs, food. There's in our lifetime anyway, 0-calorie sweeteners are a huge commodity, and NutraSweet, at least in some of the studies they have put out, that said that they don't know where it goes.
Oh,
you don't excrete it, and you don't process it.
Really?
So
just sort of hangs out.
Where's it go? And there's been some research that says that it could be a precursor or included in Alzheimer's. They found it in tumors in the brain. That chemical.
I think then if you're going to eat NutraSweet, you should also put some Vicks on your feet to draw those toxins back out.
Those commercials with those you've seen those little pads that you put on your feet and they turn brown? Because those are the toxins coming down to your body. And to me, that's like the same thing as if I rub a fucking avocado on my feet. Guess what? It's going to turn brown too. It's called oxidation. It's not drawing ridiculous things out of you, But regardless if you believe in them or not, if you are not harming yourself or anybody else, and it works for you, by all means, right?
Buy the essential oils.
I'm not against it.
I'm not against it.
I just think you need to take it, here's another, take it with a grain of salt, right? So take it with a grain of salt and know what you're doing, that it might not be doing anything, but I really, truly believe the human body can do anything it really has the potential to do. You have all the antibodies, all those things, the mechanisms in your body.
You can fight a lot of the stuff on yourself.
And I think a lot of it is mental. Maybe it's not conscious, right?
Yeah.
Almost all those things happen in a subconscious level. Automatic response from your body. It's just built that way.
Like meditate to lower your heart rate.
Yeah, and I do find a lot of validity in that. And I kind of go back to my earlier statements: are you going to lose weight because you're drinking vinegar? I don't think so. I think it's the other things that go along with your life that probably start changing your habits because of
because
you're being so diligent following this, guide basically of doing these things. Kind of like that diet of eat 1.5 pieces of toast, 3 eggs while you're standing on one leg on Tuesday, only potatoes on Thursday. It's like if you're going to all this, what they're doing there is they're controlling calories, but it seems random and it's very specific and it's controlled. And so people can do that, right? It's guided. So, in the
step by step, here's how you do it. Here's what you pack. Here's what you make. Yeah.
And so the same thing with a lot of these things. If you're going to go to that length to put, something stinky like Vicks on you, you're probably going to want to believe that it works.
I love the smell of Vicks.
So I was just mentioning that I go to a barber to trim my beard, right?
Struck me as odd. I didn't even realize that was a thing because I can't grow a beard.
From a man who can't grow a beard, yeah. So I go to a barber and they put a little hot towel on my face. And I'm not a real big fan of that. And I've told him a few times, but he's like, okay, but I'm going to try this oil and put this stuff on here. It smells good. I'm like, okay. So he puts it on and I am not happy. Like I hate it. I absolutely fucking hate it.
What is it?
If you're going to ask me, it was Vicks. So it's funny that this kind of came up in my, everyday life. And he's like, what'd you think of that? I said, I'll be honest with you, Mo.
Mo?
His name's Mo.
Are you kidding me?
No. His name's Mo.
I need a barber named Mo, man.
He's a Lebanese man named Mo. Good guy.
That's awesome.
Yes. But anyway, he said, how'd that work out for you? I'm like, it smelled like fucking Vicks, man. I hate Vicks. He's like, what? And he was all offended. Not like truly, but oh my God, like it's great. Vicks underneath your nose and
absolutely.
I'm like,
use it.
No, man.
I'm sick. I use it. I like it.
I'm like, if I want to smell like I ate the ass of a fucking koala, you know what I mean? All eucalyptus.
Yeah, I can tell I'm a little hungover because that took me.
It was a stretch.
It took me like a half a second too long to get, and then I got it. It took me just a bit too long.
I mean, shit, koalas should never get colds, man. They're eating eucalyptus all the time. Maybe they don't. No, that's true. They do move pretty slow, though. I mean, eucalyptus, it's toxic.
Well, I think anything's toxic in too high of a dose.
Well, it's toxic in any dose, I believe.
Yeah,
that's why they're
but
so lethargic.
You just said people ate Vicks.
They do.
So if it's toxic in any dose,
and maybe it's the leaf and there's other things in it. Okay. And the eucalyptus leaf, but
so if you eat the actual plant, you'll have problems.
Yeah, that's why they're so sedentary. They basically eat their thing and they sit there and process it, and
I feel the pain.
Anyway,
like on a Friday morning, we just wake up and you smoke a leaf, and then you just don't do anything all day, and I'm very lethargic. Yeah, I've been there.
I can understand that, right? Well,
it happens.
You do you. That's what I say. Just
absolutely.
Don't hurt anybody else in the end.
And hopefully don't hurt yourself. I would. I sure hope people send some emails in. I want to hear.
I really want to hear some of your things your parents did, and that maybe you didn't even realize until you were an adult were kind of out there. There's certain things that you grow up with, and even though you don't see it at other people's houses, you don't think nothing of it until somebody calls you out on it. And I had a friend that their family put peanut butter on the hamburgers, right? And he completely had no idea that it was all that weird. And it's good. I enjoy it. I had one.
I tried it it had peanut butter on it and it had an egg on it.
Yeah, that's a little much.
It was horrifying.
I'd probably try it. But he had no idea. And I asked him, like, when you go to school or go to McDonald's, is there a flipping peanut butter option? No.
Never realized it.
Yeah, but I don't know. It just seems
and
like
there's another episode. Weird things that the weird food combinations. Like there's people who are wrong that use French fries and mayonnaise.
Yeah. I did start seeing, and I've been saying it for years too. Everybody takes their ketchup and mix it with mayonnaise, right? That's a thing.
What?
Yeah, they mix ketchup and mayonnaise together and dip their fries in it. Like, why not just make ketchup mayonnaise and be done with it? And now they are.
Yeah.
And spicy mayo, right? People would take Frank's hot sauce, mix it with mayo, and make spicy mayo. And finally, somebody got we can just sell it.
Market it this way, yeah.
Why wouldn't you?
I don't know.
I'm really happy on the side note with Frank's hot sauce. They just put out a 32-ounce bottle that you can buy at Kroger, and I was very excited about that. Sad as that is.
You lead a super complicated life. You're I found some hot sauce. It's 32 ounces, and that made my week.
Well, yeah, you got that big-ass glass bottle. It's a pain in the ass. This one's like a ketchup bottle. It's perfect. Just squeezes right out. And
I'll have to look in it because I also enjoy my Franks.
I like putting that shit on everything.
I actually use it. I put it in my ears for ear infections.
Oh, you know what?
I'm joking.
I have a couple more.
Oh, come on.
Ear infections.
Okay.
And somebody out here is going to go, yeah, my parents too. You blow cigarette smoke into the ear.
It can't work.
I will tell you, my parents did that to me. My mother did that to me as a kid, and my sister, when I'd have an earache, they would blow the smoke into my ear.
Did they put the cigarette out first? Or
right on my knee as they're doing it. Don't feel it now, do you, Jeffrey? No, not at all.
I know. I'm just picking. Your parents are awesome.
But they would blow it into my ear, and I just thought it was normal, right? And it seemed to help. And I don't know. I didn't look up any, but It's one of those things I believed in one way or another. If it was my own mind doing it, or the rational side of my said
something in the smoke.
Well, it's a vascular dilator, right? That's what nicotine is. So if you're blowing that into my ear, essentially, and an earache is kind of an inflammation of sorts, you're reducing blood flow onto that area potentially. That's the only logic I could put to it.
There's probably no science behind it at all. It's just one of those weird things.
Another one is
pee. Oh. I was doing the research. I saw where someone said that if you have an ear infection,
pee in it?
You pour piss in it.
And what's the logic behind this one?
No idea.
Huh.
They didn't go into logic. They just said, if you're having this problem, do this. And after reading it for 8 minutes, I just couldn't. I couldn't anymore. I was getting angry. I get worked up.
Yeah.
It's like, you people are all fucking stupid. And there's probably somebody out there pouring piss in their ear right now because they saw it on the internet. It makes you...
Do you have to get it straight from the source? I mean, or can you put it in the glass first?
It literally just said...
Is it warm?
Ear infection?
It's probably because it's warm.
It literally just said ear infection.
Yeah.
Use urine. That's all it said. No other... No, I mean, I guess it didn't... Maybe it's not even human.
Another odd one.
A little dog piss. Clear you right up.
This is one I don't see come up very often. And again, was used on me as a kid. Is bee stings. A treatment for bee stings was...
Toothpaste.
Toothpaste and tobacco.
And tobacco?
Yeah, toothpaste and tobacco.
Your parents were some heavy smokers, hey?
Yes, but it was always readily available.
Things like everything you're bringing up, you're like, just pour some tobacco on it.
Tobacco solves everything.
Tobacco solves everything.
I mean, that's why I started smoking at 11 years old, right?
Right. Yeah.
Everybody else, that must solve life's problems. Why
Lung
not?
cancer? Yeah, right. Pour some tobacco on it.
You just weren't doing enough. That's the problem.
Oh, is that it?
Yeah, you didn't kill the cancer cells.
Oh.
They can't live in a smoky environment. I guess.
That's fantastic.
Either that or you smoked Marlboro Red. Blech.
I used to smoke those.
Those are terrible. I can smell a Marlboro Light. Those are the worst ones. A Marlboro Light a mile away compared to any other cigarette. To me, it smells worse than anything else any other cigarette I've ever smelled.
When I quit, I was on Parliaments, and those were my favorite.
How the hell did you get on Parliaments?
I'm not going to say that on air.
Okay, why are we so brand loyal? I mean, again, I don't smoke anymore. Jay don't smoke anymore. We all know he plays with his douche whistle, but it's much better than the alternative.
Yeah, and I don't. Yeah,
every one of our friends. I mean, as growing up, I
think everybody's
kids,
pretty much quit.
It's
which
not
is good.
A thing.
Most people don't
it's absolutely
quit.
Great.
But the Parliaments have the filter end was open.
Oh, okay.
And you could scoop things in it.
Interesting. So you put like a little Vicks in there. If you had a little cold, make it a menthol, like the crushes for Camel.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I don't think that.
They're way ahead of their time, weren't they?
Well, actually, technically, it was used. I guess a lot of people who were on boats, like fishing boats, use those cigarettes, and I guess the reason they recessed the filter was you could bite it, so it wouldn't blow out of your mouth, and then you could still open it back up again. It's definitely not intended to ever put cocaine in it.
Yeah, probably not. It puts a whole new thing to Cocoa Puff.
All right, and we'll move on.
Yeah.
But I think we should wrap this one up.
Yeah, absolutely.
I definitely want people to send some stuff in for their home remedies, what they did, what their parents did, what they believe in, what they don't, what they thought worked, what didn't.
And if we get enough of these, we'll revisit this and bring up some more ideas.
I'd love to read through some, yeah.
Yeah, maybe we'll research. We'll pick a couple and actually see if there's any studies, see if there's anything behind it.
I'd be interested to do that.
Be sure to check out Science Versus. They're a great podcast, too, on the essential oils. They have some, a great conversation on that. It's one of my favorite ones that I have in rotation right now.
It's so difficult for me to not make that's not a knife joke. But
that's not a knife. That's not rosemary. This is rosemary.
Yeah.
Check us out on Facebook or send us an email at arguablycorrectpodcast@gmail.com.
Or go ahead and tweet us at arguablyc.
Absolutely. So be sure to...
So proud I did that right.
Right. Whatever app you use to download podcasts, please hit the subscribe button. Check us out every Monday at noon. We'll be there, except on the holidays, because, even people who work for nothing get a day off. We do this for the love of it.
Well played.
Unless you want to pay us. We'll say anything you want, as long as it's not Vicks.
Yeah, you do an endorsement for Vicks? Is that what you're doing
next?
What?
They could pay me enough. Sure, I'll take yours anything.
It will take the demons right out of your head.
I will say, hair of the dog is absolutely the best cure for a hangover. You have to slam a beard.
I am on that cure as we speak.
Totally works.
I am feeling better.
It seems a little ridiculous, but it totally works. It just, it's called withdrawals. That's what a hangover is. It's called withdrawals.
You just very politely call me a raging alcoholic.
Well, I mean, only on Saturday.
And Friday and Thursday.
Yeah.
Sometimes Wednesday. Okay, never mind.
I'm Jeff.
I'm Jay.
And this has been Arguably Correct.
Thanks for listening.
Word.
To your motherfucking mother.